faced barren waste without the taste of water. Cool water. Old Dan and I, with throats burned dry and souls that cry for water. Cool, clear water. Keep a moving, Dan. Don't you listen to him, Dan. He's a devil, not a man. And he spreads the burning sand with water. Dan, can't you see that big green tree where the water's running free? And it's waiting there for you and me.
Good morning everyone, welcome back to the dark side of the moor. Matt back with you, hope you're okay. Well, we've just had a week off. It's the first week we haven't put up a new video on the channel for about 2.5 years. There's nothing wrong, there were just things going on which meant we couldn't quite get anything together for last week. But we're back now, that's what's important. Hope you haven't missed us too much. So just me with you today, and we've covered quite a lot of very dark stories and dark places and dark history on the channel this winter, and as winter starts to fade away, we're doing something a little bit lighter this particular week. Some of the stories a little bit more brighter, if you will. However, to placate those who only watch for the darkness, I'm filming in a cemetery, and today I'm in Rochdale Cemetery, and today we've come to celebrate the life of somebody who is buried here. And 50 years ago he was at the height, all 4'11" of him, of his fame. He became a household name due to being on a popular TV series, comedy series in the 70s, and at this point in time, almost 50 years to the day, he was about to have a #1 hit single in the charts as well. Can you guess who we're talking about?
Why do you whisper green grass? Why tell the trees what ain't so? Whispering grass.
Okay, so obviously you've just seen a picture of him, but the person we've come to celebrate today is the actor and singer Don Estelle, who became famous, very famous, in the 1970s thanks to appearing on the BBC TV comedy series It Ain't Half Hot Mum, which at its peak reached 17 million viewers. And in April 1975, he had a #1 hit in the charts with a song called Whispering Grass with his co-star Windsor Davis. Windsor didn't really sing it, he just kind of speaks slowly on all the records they made. But if you get chance, I don't know if I can add it to this video without copyrighting myself, listen to Don Estelle's voice. He was once compared to Roy Orbison, and his voice is magical. Now, obviously, some of you may not, depends where you are in the world, or how old you are, you may not know who Don Estelle is. So let me tell you a little bit about him, where he's from, what he got up to, what happened in the end, and yeah, we'll see if we can find his gravestone. Don Estelle was born Ronald Edwards on the 22nd of May 1933 in Crumpsall near Manchester. As a child he escaped the Manchester Blitz and became a boy soprano in Darwen in Lancashire, where he moved to, and continued to do this when he returned to Manchester, later joining a group called the Manchester Kentucky Minstrels. Despite his comedic appearance, Don had an extraordinary voice, which one reviewer once said rivaled that of Roy Orbison. He met Windsor Davis in 1962 and they formed a double act which toured the clubs and theatres of the UK. In the early 1970s, he made a brief appearance on the TV series Dad's Army, but it was the next series that came along that made both him and Windsor Davies household names. Don became best known for playing the character of Gunner Lofty Sugden in the BBC TV series It Ain't Half Hot Mum between 1974 and 1981. This was a comedy series about a Royal Artillery concert party based in the jungles of Burma during the end of World War II.
Is that the only hat you've got, Gunner?
Yes, Sergeant Major. It's MO's orders. It protects my head from the sun. I've got very thin skull bones.
Well, you know why that is, don't you?
No.
You've got such a huge brain. It's rubbing on the inside and wearing your head out.
In just over a year into the series, Don Estelle was a household name, thanks to the huge success of the show. And in 1975, he reached number 1 in the UK charts with co-star Windsor Davies, with the song Whispering Grass. It stayed at the top of the charts for 3 weeks. The series remained hugely popular during the 1970s, and Windsor and Don continued to release singles and albums, though none of them reached the same heights as Whispering Grass. Although the series was successful, hitting 17 million viewers at its peak, it's rarely appeared since it ended in 1981, due to racism and homophobia that appears in the series. Due to the lack of repeats of the series, whereas other 70s sitcoms like Dad's Army, Porridge, etc. all get repeated ad nauseum, Don Estelle's star quickly faded. His other co-stars went on to great success in other series, but Don only got small parts in films like A Private Function, Santa Claus the Movie, and later, much later, in the TV series The League of Gentlemen. In those later years, he had to resort to busking in his lofty outfit in places like Rochdale shopping centres, often with a suitcase full of cassettes. And it's probably best we don't talk about the album he released with Cyril Smith. But he spent his final years in New Zealand and returned to Rochdale for an operation where he passed away on the 2nd of August 2003 at the age of 70. He is buried with his famous pith helmet from the TV series. Almost every time we've filmed in a cemetery in the last few weeks, every single time I've been filming when there's a funeral on, we always respect that. That's what this place is for. So rest in peace to whoever is being buried here today, and obviously we're going to stay out the way whilst that's going on, and we'll wander elsewhere. So Tom and I were here about 2 years ago, maybe a bit more, I don't know, and we filmed here, and it was just kind of a general walk around and filming some notable gravestones. If you're interested in that, not a great video because it's when I was filming everything in portrait. This is the one you've got to search for, but it includes Don Estelle's grave on there. And what's really strange is I'm walking around and I'm completely lost. I cannot quite remember where he is buried. I'm sure he's in this area, so bear with me. We will find it in a moment, I'm sure. But yeah, so if you want to look at that other video as well, as I say, there are some other names on there. But yeah, it's really weird. It's like, I feel like I've never been here. Very strange.
Roundtree's fruit pastille. Steady. A lot of flavour in there, must not chew. Little lad like you, got to be careful. He's chewing it. I knows he is. Bite into that crispy, sugary bit, and he was into the real fruit flavour. You chewed!
Oh, no, I didn't.
Oh, yes, he did.
I couldn't help it. All that flavour.
Self-control, lovely boy.
Rantry's fruit pastilles. Irresistible.
Okay, found him. Okay, so here we are. This is the final resting place of the great singer and actor Don Estelle, Gunner Lofty Sugden from It Ain't Half Hot Mum. It's probably always going to be the role he's known for. Yeah, in fact, nothing else came close really, but obviously for his singing as well, he's well remembered. So it's good to find his gravestone here today and just pay our respects on this channel to a huge star. Let's not forget, in the 70s, Don Estelle was a household name. Everybody knew him and everybody loved him. So rest in peace, Don, and like it says at the bottom, thank you very much and good night. Okay, there we go, folks. That is the grave of Don Estelle, and well, I'm just next to the big tomb here with lots of names on it. So hope you've enjoyed this one. Do you have any fond memories of watching the show or of the song itself? Maybe you bought the single 50 years ago, or don't want to admit it at least. But yeah, maybe this one's brought back some childhood memories for you, or just memories in general, or introduce you to someone you've never heard of. Either way, we will see you very, very soon. Got Tom with us next on Wednesday when we go looking for the Eve Stone, and then bringing you the story, hopefully before the end of the week, of Tim Feather. See you soon. Take care. Bye for now.
Don't you listen to him, Dad. He's a devil, not a man. And he spreads the burning sand with